Hello. We are back live together again on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So fun. I'm going to just get the recipe page up here so then we can all be cooking together because we have our recipe page family on Facebook. And we are having a pumpkin spice special because it's a little chilly here in Minnesota. The last couple days it's been kind of rainy. And I've been seeing a lot of posts online, everybody making pumpkin spice things, and I'm like, I gotta get in on this pumpkin spiceness because it's so yummy. And I've been kind of in a pumpkin spice kick anyways. So I made this new recipe, and it was so yummy that I'm like, I know I have to share it with all of you, and we all have to make this together. So we are going to do that. All right, it's posting. All right, here we go. So we are going to make... Let me get this up here. All right. So we're going to make some pumpkin spice things. What is this? Notification. Go away so I can see the comments. Hello, Janice. Hello on Instagram. Hello on TikTok. It's so nice of you to join. Shout out where you're from. I always like to see what states are joining me in little old Minnesota here. It's always fun. So we're going to start out with the new recipe, which is pumpkin pie muffies. I call them muffies because they're little mini muffins, but you can make these regular size muffins. If you don't have a mini muffin pan, you can make these as donuts. You can make these as cookies. You can make these as waffles or pancakes. Whatever maker or pan that you have, you can make this recipe as that. Hello, Scarlett. Hello, Miss Linda Steele. So happy to be here with you, too. So fun. Hello on Instagram. Hoka, so fun for you to join. And then we're going to make some pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas from the holiday volume. Now, if you don't know what the holiday volume is, it is all the recipes from volumes 1 through 8, all the holiday inspired recipes in one book, over 100 recipes, just the holiday ones. So if you want to make it through the holidays without feeling left out, or you want to get your pumpkin spice on, this book is packed with delicious pumpkin spice things, apple crisp things, soups, all the things that you just feel like a holiday in your mouth. That's in the holiday volume. And the pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas is in there also, page 130. But we're going to make it with a twist because I like to show you guys little secrets here and there. Scarlett from Southern California. Nancy, hi from... Oops, I lost it. Where'd you go? From New Jersey. Jackie Weiss. Hello, Jackie. Hello, neighbor Jane. Wisconsin girl here. Love your cookbooks and your darling personality. Oh my gosh, Jane, you are so cute. And hello, Wisconsin neighbor. So fun. Yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, right next to each other. All right, so let's dig in. We'll get to the chickpea recipe in a minute. But we're going to make our new recipe, which I will post tomorrow or something. I'll post really soon. The pumpkin pie muffies. You can find like the recipes, the new recipes that we've made on here on my website, which is weightlossrecipescookbook.com. It'll be in the Pinterest tab of the menu, or follow me on Pinterest. I post all the recipes there, and usually I post them first because then I put that on my website. So if you don't follow me on Pinterest, do that. It's the same name everywhere, Weight Loss Recipes Cookbook. Hi, you're awesome. Lillian here from Edicon, New York. I don't think I said that right, but hello from New York. Hello. All right, we got our hellos in. Marine from Massachusetts. Cindy, hello. So, like I said, let's dig into our pumpkin pie muffies. So we're going to start out with preheating our oven to 375. Now this time I did my big oven because when you make mini muffins, and especially when we're going to make it this way, you're going to get a lot of them. If you saw the little commercial video for today, you get to eat that whole plate of little muffies. So if you're a quantity person or you like a lot of food, this is a recipe for you. You look beautiful. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Man, I gotta come on here more often. Hello. All right, so we're preheating our oven at 375. I have my big oven going here. And again, you can make these as regular size muffins too. And now we're going to get our scale. My favorite is the Escali Primo scale. It stays on for 4 minutes, and it's pretty cheap, and it's nice and light, and it takes AA batteries. So those are easier to find and easier to change out. You don't have to get a weird battery or anything. You can find this scale and my favorite like baking gadgets and more, and some things that I found at thrift stores and that kind of stuff on my website also. I think it's the home page. There'll be like a little button that says something about find my favorite baking gadgets and more, and it'll send you to Amazon for all the things that I found that are close to this, like favorite baking ingredients, that kind of thing. So just if you want to know that. So we're going to need a bowl. I'm going to get a big bowl, a little bit bigger bowl, because this is quite a bigger recipe. Can you make them in one container? You sure could. You could make it as a bake in like a small baking dish or like a medium-sized baking dish. Yeah, you could definitely make it in one instead of splitting it up. That is a good idea too. Thank you. So we are going to do 3 ounces banana. When you don't use sugar, banana is your sweetener for everything. Instead of muffins, can I make it into a cake? Yes, absolutely. You can make it into a cake. So we're going to do 3 ounces banana. Now, I like to get my bananas a little bit browner when I'm going to bake because they tend to be a little bit sweeter. But you can use a little bit, like more of a yellow banana. I would not use green. That's just not going to be sweet at all. Is this breakfast? Yes. This recipe is a breakfast recipe. Now, you could make it for lunch if you skipped the grain, but it might be a little bit different. I think it would still turn out. It would still be delicious, but with the grain, it's better. So we're going to do 3 ounces banana, and we're going to use a fun grain today. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I kind of want it to be a surprise. So 3 ounces banana, and we're going to mash that. My favorite high-tech ingredient to mash bananas is a fork. My favorite one. How at your... Sure. Can I give you a recipe for Arabic food? Sure. Go right ahead. Post it away. I like different kinds of foods. So we're going to mash our banana. I like to mash my banana before I add ingredients because banana can get a little bit like slippery when you add that egg in there, and then it runs away when you're trying to mash things. So we're going to mash our banana first till we have no big chunks. Now, if there's some little chunks, that's okay. Then it gets really easy. We're just going to add all of our ingredients except for our yogurt and peanut butter because we're going to do a peanut butter fluff frosting on top. Peanut butter and yogurt mixed together is one of my favorite combos. So we're going to just go through the line of ingredients and add them to this. So we have our 3 ounces banana. Now we're going to do 3 ounces canned pumpkin. I already opened a can because I've been having pumpkin a little bit here and there throughout the week. Canned pumpkin, you can use fresh cooked pumpkin if you have some from your garden or if you buy some pumpkin, but it's going to tend to be a little bit waterier and a little bit less flavorful than canned pumpkin, so I would use a little bit more spices. Do you want to try Arabic food? Sure. I like all food. As long as it's sugar and flour free, I am up to try things. So we have 3 ounces canned pumpkin. And now we're going to do 4 ounces. This is our grain. We're going to do 4 ounces of cooked quinoa. Now, if you don't have cooked quinoa, you don't like cooked quinoa, you could do cooked rice, or you could just do 1 ounce of uncooked oats, or you could do coarse wheat bran, 1 ounce of uncooked coarse wheat bran, or wheat germ, your favorite grain, but I'm going to do some quinoa. I had cooked some quinoa, and quinoa is fun. So quinoa, you can count as 4 ounces as a breakfast grain, 4 ounces cooked as a breakfast grain, or you can do 4 ounces cooked as a full protein. Now, I know a lot of vegans and vegetarians who don't do meat, they'll do quinoa for protein. So this could, well, you'd have to do some modifying, but this could be a lunch recipe if you use this as the protein. You would have to change up some things. So we're going to do 4 ounces of cooked quinoa, and then I just leave the leftovers in the fridge, and then I cook with it throughout the week. So it's really fun. Quinoa, I like it. It's a fun grain. What about sweet potato? Absolutely. You could use, yes, sweet potato in this would be delicious instead of quinoa, and that is also 4 ounces cooked as a full grain. That would be delicious. It might be a little bit softer than if you're using a grain, but try it. Hello on Instagram. Tina, hi Natalie, what are we making today? We are having a pumpkin spice special and we are making pumpkin pie muffies. So fun. So we have our quinoa, so now let's spice this up a little. I made my own pumpkin pie spice, but you can just buy pumpkin pie spice. It's not very expensive. And we're gonna do a tablespoon of this because these are gonna be pumpkin pie spiced muffies. So let me grab a tablespoon. This is half a tablespoon. I'll just do 2 of these because I think my tablespoon is dirty. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Now, if you don't like pumpkin pie spice, use your favorite spice. There's apple pie spice. There's gingerbread spice. There's all different kinds. But you can make your own pumpkin pie spice. It is not hard, and it's quite tasty. All right, so we have our pumpkin pie spice. So now we're going to do some maple extract. If you don't have maple extract, vanilla extract works also. Maple extract, I don't know, it just has a really good flavor. Let me find a tablespoon. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of maple extract, not tablespoon. 1 teaspoon of maple extract or vanilla extract. I also found this maple extract on Amazon, and this one was the best price. It is Olive Nation. You can find this also in that little list of my favorite baking gadgets and more. And they have other extracts. Don't get the emulsion. Those all have sugar in them. Just get the extracts. I have no clue what that means. Hello. Now we're going to do a teaspoon of instant coffee. Now, if you're scared to use instant coffee because you don't like coffee, this tastes nothing like coffee. As Linda Steele said it perfectly, and now I quote this all the time, instant coffee gives it a depth and a warmth. I have mine stick to it. So, my sister doesn't like coffee at all, but she likes instant coffee. So, try it out. See if you like it. If you don't like it, skip this ingredient completely. You don't have to use instant coffee. It just gives it another layer of flavors. Face you. Sure. Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Now we're going to do a 4th teaspoon of each. We're going to do a 4th teaspoon of sea salt. My favorite is pink Himalayan sea salt. And we're going to do a 4th teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda makes it brown, but leaves it nice and flat. But baking soda gives it lift, but alone can be metallic-y. So if you do a 4th teaspoon of both, you get a little fluff with a little brown, and it's perfection. So we're going to do a 4th teaspoon of baking powder. I know some people, they're like, oh, it's a powder, don't eat it. This, I'm not going to go in the kitchen and binge off of baking powder, but if this triggers you in some way, skip it. Skip both of these. Your muffins might be a little flat and a little dense, but they'll still be delicious. Is recipe here, instant coffee, thumbs up. I don't have the recipe for this posted yet. I'll be posting it on my website maybe tonight, but absolutely tomorrow. I'll be posting this recipe. And after the live stream is done here, you can always go back and find the replay of this. I'll be posting it on YouTube. It'll also be on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok does not let me do a replay, but you can find the replay on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. So now we're going to do 1 egg. This is going to make everything stick together. I get my eggs from a farm, so I always do the what egg will be 2 ounces. Because look at these. They're all such different shapes and sizes. Let's try this one. Let's try it out. Perfect. So 1 egg. And that is all of our ingredients except for our peanut butter and yogurt, which we're going to put on the topping. So now we're going to mix this all up. Oh, thank you. Instagram's so lovely today. So we're going to mix this. We have our banana, our pumpkin, our quinoa, our spices, an egg, our baking powder, baking soda. So now give this a good mix till it's nice and combined. And there shouldn't be any swirls of different colors. It should just be turned into one color. Now, pumpkin, I was talking to Kelly, and I'm like, oh, I'm making pumpkin things today. It was yesterday. So I'm making pumpkin things tomorrow. Or I asked her if she wanted something pumpkin-y. She's like, you know what? I don't really like pumpkin. And I told her, pumpkin isn't really super flavorful, but pumpkin gives things a super buttery flavor and texture. When I had these, I'm like, I didn't even put butter in this, but it tastes buttery. That's what pumpkin does. For me, that's how it tastes for me. Everybody's taste is so different, and then the pumpkin spice really gives it flavor. So now we're going to lightly oil some mini muffin pans, or if you have other fun pans, you can use those also. I'm going to use these little mustache pans because I can and because I got it, and they're so fun to use. I had a gingerbread pan, and I made some things out of that, and I don't know, they made like little gingerbread. There's something fun about that. So I'm going to oil just a couple of these and see how far I go, because we might have to oil another one and keep adding. So I just have some spray olive oil. Just give it a little spritz, each little indent, so we don't get stuck muffins. And this isn't like a super sticky recipe. So some recipes, like the muffins, will stick like crazy. This isn't one of them. I think the quinoa helps make it a little less sticky. So I'm going to use a little spatula, and we're just going to fill each one with a little bit of our mixture and spread it out. Let me move this so you can see. I think you can see. Yes, you can see. Making sure. So just fill each one until there's no batter left. I get the question a lot, oh, how many muffins is one serving? It's as many as the batter will make. So depending on if you're using mini muffins, regular size muffins, donut pan, bundt pan, whatever you want to make this as, or as a cake, you get as much as this batter makes, and you get to eat all of that for breakfast. And we're not even done. We get to top this with things, because this is only half of our protein in here, but it's all of our fruit, all of our grain, and all the spices. So just keep filling each one of these until all the batter's gone. And again, you could make this as little cookies. If you don't want to use a pan, you could line a pan with parchment paper and just put it on top if you want to do that. Now, if you're making like a cake or regular size muffins, you're going to want to cook these a little bit longer. Mini muffins tend to cook pretty quick because it's a smaller area to cook and they're more spread out. So I think if you're going to make this into cookies, I would do the same baking time as the mini muffins. But if you're making it thicker, I would do maybe 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. Everybody's oven is so different. Some people's ovens cook hotter, some are smaller and cook in a more condensed area, so then it cooks faster. All right, so 2 pans is just perfect. I'm just going to kind of spread these out just a little bit. And I think I made these a little bit too full because they will expand just a little bit as they're cooking. Because the baking soda and baking powder and egg, it makes it rise. So we're just going to take a little out. Perfect. That should be good. And if it goes over a little bit, it'll still be in the pan. All right, now I'm going to throw these in the oven, and we're going to cook these at 375 for about, we'll check them in 15 minutes, see if they're done then. Instagram, that gives different combinations. That varies food. Sure. All right, we're going to put this in the oven, and then I'll be right back. Now I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. All right, it is baking now at our oven at 375. Linda, Natalie, I find that using a 4th cup measuring cup for these types of things is easy. If made with 1 ounce, roughly 1/4 cup of each of 6 full-size muffins, or a bit less. If using 4 ounces cooked grain, it's more like a 1/3 cup for each of 6 muffins. Oh, that is good to know. So if you want to make just 6 muffins and have them like the same size, use a 4th cup if you're using oats. And if you're using quinoa, then use a 1/3 cup. That is good to know, Miss Linda. Look at all your baking hacks. You should have a cooking show, girl. That'd be so fun. And for mini muffins, I would say that it was about a little bit more than a tablespoon per each. So maybe like a heaping tablespoon per each one. And then it made, let's see, it made 6 little mustaches and 1 full thing of this. So that's a pretty decent size meal. So now we're going to make, while that's cooking, we'll come back to the frosting later. We're going to make our pumpkin spice chickpeas, which are our pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas. So you're going to get your crispy, crunchy, but yet savory, pumpkin-y, spiced chickpeas. It's good. You can have these like for breakfast if you want some crunchy protein. You can have these for lunch. Put these on a salad, sweet or savory. It goes with it all. So we're going to make these, but we're going to make these with a twist. Instead of baking them, we're going to make them in my little air fryer here. I like my air fryer. I use it for everything, vegetables, fruit, everything. I like it so much. It makes things crispy on the outside. How much wheat germ would I use in muffins? It would be 1 ounce uncooked for your full grain. Instead of 4 ounces cooked quinoa, 1 ounce of wheat germ. And it would be delicious. It'll be more of like a bready thing then. So it'll be kind of like a pumpkin bread, which is so yummy. Or like muffins. So I'm going to, this air fryer likes to preheat. So I'm going to preheat this. And I'm going to preheat this at 400. And I'm not even going to do the time yet. We're just going to turn this on while we make our chickpeas. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Why are you telling me to add food? It's not ready. So we're going to preheat that. So now you're going to need some canned chickpeas, or if you soaked your own chickpeas, that works also. But I like to use the can, less work, and it's just right here and it's ready. Jane, do you take the little shells off the canned chickpeas? I don't. It's just too much work. I used to rinse them too. I don't even do that. All I do is I open the can, and don't open it all the way. Just open it about that much. Just so you can get the liquid out. Then I just drain it. The sink is right here. I'm not draining it on the floor. So we're just going to drain it and kind of shake it to get all the liquid out. I like to make things easy. Now you can dry these if you want to, but I'm not going to, because when you make it in the air fryer, the spices aren't going to burn like they would if you bake them. If you bake them, I would toss them in the seasonings after, but this time we're just going to put them all together. Can you make a cheese crispy burger? Ooh, that would be delicious. Yeah, just do a burger, bake some cheese till it's crispy. There you go. Hello on Instagram. All right, so we drained our chickpeas, so now we can take the whole top off. And then you're gonna need a bowl. And we're not even gonna measure or weigh this because you're gonna weigh this after it's cooked. So just pour your chickpeas into a bowl. Make sure there's none left in the can, because sometimes they like to get stuck in there. And I like to do a whole can at a time. You could do 2 cans if you want. You could do more than that, depending on your air fryer, because you kind of want a flat layer for even roasting. And even if you're baking this, you're going to want a flat layer for even roasting, because when it's layered, there's going to be spots that are not going to get crispy, and we want these nice and crispy. So now we're going to add our pumpkin pie spice. So we're just going to liberally coat all of this. And then add a little bit of salt, because salt is so good. And then just kind of shake it up. We don't have to oil these because the liquid, or they call it the aquafaba, from the canned chickpeas will make everything stick to it. So just kind of give it a little stir here so we get all of our chickpeas nice and coated. So they should kind of look like this. But now we're going to get them nice and crispy. So you can line your air fryer with parchment paper. I like to do that, then you don't have to like clean it as often, or then you don't get all the stuff on the bottom, especially if you're using spices, or if things are like gonna leak through. But I found this little pan at the dollar store. Yes, it's kind of like stained, but I found this at the dollar store. I've also found some at some thrift stores and garage sales. This just fits in my air fryer, so instead of lining it, I just like to use this, and it works perfectly. I don't even know the size, It has no size things because it's from the dollar store. But this works perfect. Otherwise, you can line your air fryer with parchment paper, whatever is easier for you, or just throw it in there and then wash your air fryer when you're done. Natalie, do you have a pumpkin pie spice blend recipe in your books? I was thinking of that. I was thinking, do I have one in there yet? I know I have a pumpkin pie spice written down, but I don't know if it's in a book yet. If somebody knows, look it up. After 17 volumes, I don't really remember what's in what yet. Because when you get to volume 11, then I'm like, wait, what's in the beginning volumes again? I want to say that I do, but I'm not exactly sure. I might. You could look. What brand is your air fryer? Great question. It is an Instant Vortex. I think it's like Instant Pot air fryer, or Instant Pot brand. I think it was on sale at Walmart, and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna get that. Hello from Brazil. So I am gonna lightly oil this little pan because I don't want my chickpeas to all just stick to it. Just a light little spritz. And then we're gonna pour our chickpeas into our little pan here. Now, I do not have like a specific cooking time because every air fryer can be a little different, just like every oven. And if you're gonna bake these in the oven, again, there's not like a specific cooking time because even the brands of chickpeas can all tend to be different textures. I've noticed that non-organic chickpeas tend to be a little bit softer. Organic chickpeas, when I'm blending them up, tend to be a little bit harder. So I like to leave a little bit of aquafaba in there when I'm blending them up, just a little bit. So I'm gonna pop these in the air fryer. Look, it fits so perfect. And we're gonna cook this, we'll start with 15 minutes. And what's nice about this air fryer is like halfway through, it's a little bit more than halfway through, it'll beep and tell you to stir your food, which is nice because then you know, is it burnt yet, is it not? So I'm cooking these at 400. In the original recipe, you would bake these at 425. But my air fryer doesn't go that hot, so we're just gonna do 400. Thank you, you're welcome. Hello, what's your website again where you post recipes? Great question. It is weightlossrecipescookbook.com, and recipes is with an S. So it's literally the title of the cookbook, Weight Loss Recipes Cookbook, and then just add a .com, and you can find tons of recipes there. There's also, I'm going to have to make like a little TikTok video on this because they're so fun, a little recipe video of the pumpkin spice latte mug cake. That, oh, I forgot. I got to make that again. I got some pumpkin. Maybe that'll be breakfast, not tomorrow, because this will be breakfast tomorrow, but the next day, because it's just so good. Take it easy, sister. Thank you. Thank you, you're welcome. So while that's cooking and that's cooking, let's make our peanut butter fluff mixture on top. Great book title, thank you so much. It was kind of like, oh, when I made the first one, what do we call this? Well, what's in these? They're weight loss recipes, and it's a cookbook. Let's call it that. So that's where the name came from, very original. So let's make our fluff mixture. So we're going to need our bowl and our scale again. Move everything else to the side. And it's 2 simple ingredients, yogurt and peanut butter. Plain Greek yogurt is my favorite. Sorry, I do not speak Spanish. So we're going to do 2 ounces of plain Greek yogurt. My favorite is the whole milk Greek yogurt, and I get it at Aldi's. It's Friendly Farms. It is so good. It's so thick, so creamy, and I've heard some yogurts have like a weird twang. This one doesn't. Walmart brand also has a whole milk Greek yogurt. Not my local Walmart, but the one that's a little bit farther away from me, the other way, which I don't get to very often. But that one has a whole milk Greek yogurt, and that one's pretty good. A recipe, cool, thank you. I agree, from Turkey. Oh, thank you. And welcome from Turkey. So fun having you here. So we're going to need a fork. I like to mix this with a fork. Otherwise, if you use a spoon, the peanut butter just gets stuck all in your spoon. So I like to use a fork. We're going to do 2 ounces plain Greek yogurt. And again, you can even spice this up a little bit. My favorite thing, I would do this, and it was so good. It was a pinch of instant coffee, pinch of cinnamon, and just the slightest splash of maple extract, and probably a pinch of salt, because I like using salt. And you mix that up, and That was like the best combo on top. But you could do like pumpkin pie spice. You could even sprinkle it after with pumpkin pie spice. Natalie, maybe toss some coffee, cinnamon, or butter extract in the peanut butter fluff. Linda, we're like this. We're thinking the same thing. Butter extract. Ooh, I actually don't have butter extract. I gotta try that sometime. Hello. This Arabic food, awesome. Which brand of yogurt again? Not a problem. It is Friendly Farms. I get it at my local Aldi's. It's red, and there's like a red tinfoil seal on top that you rip off, so it's red and white, if that helps. And I like to get the whole milk Greek yogurt. Linda, you are so good. Or go crazy and add all three. Yes, do it. Yes, it gives it like, when you do the cinnamon, maple extract, instant coffee, and salt, it gives it like a caramely taste. It's so good, and it's just perfect, and just a pinch of each. You don't need much, because it is just, especially the extract, because you don't want it to get like alcohol-y, which is nasty. Alright, so now we're going to do our 1/2 ounce of peanut butter, and you know what, I think I am going to spice this up just a little. And my favorite peanut butter to get is the Walmart brand. I know, it's so Walmart brand. I'm a brand girl. I get the cool brands. Walmart. It's the creamy peanut butter, and it's organic because it's super drizzly, and the oil does separate, but once you give it one good mix at the very beginning, then it's pretty good, but it's still drizzly. So that's my favorite. It must be very nice with food. I loved it. Oh, thank you. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of peanut butter, and look, just watch the drizzle. Oh yeah. And you can see why it's my favorite brand. My sister likes the Smucker's organic peanut butter brand. To me, it's a little bit grittier, but maybe that's kind of what she likes. Just a tish bit more. Where this one seems to be a little bit smoother, but she likes the taste of the Smucker's brand, which, hey, she likes it. She likes to get that one. What are you cooking? We are making 2 different things. We are having a pumpkin spice special. So we have pumpkin pie muffies in the oven, and we have pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas in the air fryer right now. If you've missed any of this, just wait till this live stream is over. Then you can find the replay posted here after and on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. Try my food. Sure. Something in a different language. Hello. Alright, so let's spice this up just a little bit. We're going to do my favorite. We're going to add just a pinch of salt. And just, not too much, because there's no fruit in this, so it can get pretty salty pretty quick. And just the teeniest, tiniest little splash of maple extract. Or you can do vanilla extract. Just sploosh. I just ordered another bottle because this one's running out. So just like a drop or 2. And just a pinch of instant coffee. And I don't want to go get my cinnamon, so I'm going to do, and since this is pumpkin spice, we're going to do a pinch of pumpkin pie spice. Gravity test numero 1. Okay, nothing broke. It was just, and I don't think it even spilled. Haha. Just a pinch of pumpkin pie spice. And we'll probably do a sprinkle on top too, just because. Linda. McCormick makes a great butter extract. Ooh, I'll have to look that up and try it. Okay. We're having a fun time on Instagram today. So now let's mix up our peanut butter fluff. Now, if your peanut butter is a little bit thick, I'm going to check on this. It's popping. We're going to check and just give our chickpeas a nice little stir. Ooh, our muffins are done. They're not done yet because you can tell when you stir them. Excuse me, oven, I am talking. When you stir them, it doesn't give you that like clink clink of toastiness. So put it back in, and we'll just keep toasting this. Let's get our muffins out. And we'll set them here while we're making our frosting to cool. Let me grab them. They should be done. Oh, yes. They are done. close the oven. Perfection. All right, I'll give you a glimpse. I'll show you the little mini muffins. Here they are, nice and cooked. Oh yeah. So you get to eat all of these and the little mustaches too. So we're gonna let this cool a little bit before we try. Oh, it's telling me to turn the food. We just did that, so we're not gonna turn it again or mix it. So we'll just let it keep cooking. What did I put it on? Did I put it on 10? I put it on 15 minutes. That's what we did. So if you're just kind of looking at the timing of things for the air fryer, I put it on for 15 and now it's at 7 minutes. So it was about halfway that it wanted me to turn the food. Natalie, you're such a blessing. Oh my goodness, Sarah, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. Superfood. Yes. Cool. All right, so we're gonna keep mixing our frosting. Let's see, I was telling you, yes, if your peanut butter mixture is too thick, like if you're mixing it with the yogurt and it's too thick, they could be depending on the yogurt. Some yogurts, Greek yogurts, are thicker than others. I've noticed the whole milk is thicker than just plain Greek yogurt. That's like the skim milk. That tends to be a little bit more watery. And that can make this a little bit not as thick. So if it's too thick, you can add a splash of hot water and give it a little mix until it's nice and combined and keep doing it little by little till it's at the consistency you like. Don't add too much water because it can't go back. Love you. Oh, you're so sweet. Are you working in a restaurant? I am not. I am not a professional chef. I have never worked in a restaurant. I have just, these recipes are created, they were created out of frustration and boredom with broccoli, steamed broccoli and baked chicken. I could not eat it again. So I started dabbling and diving into recipes and it turned into 17 cookbooks later. So in no way am I a professional. That's why I tell people, they're like, oh, I don't know how to cook. Cooking is just too hard. I'm like, I know. I understand. We're learning together, and you can kind of see as the cookbooks go, the progress of learning we get to go through together. So that's why I tell beginners, start at volume 1, because we're learning together, and as you keep going, it keeps growing, it gets delicious, and it just keeps going. Love you. You're so nice. Where do you find these recipes? That's a great question. I just make it up. One morning I'm like, no, I was cooking. I think, was I meal prepping for my Uncle Tim? I was cooking and I'm like, you know, I got some quinoa, I got some pumpkin. Let's just make something. I'm very adventurous in the kitchen and very experimental. Sometimes I've had a couple things not turn out, or they turned out really ugly, but they still tasted good. So these cookbooks, they just kind of came out of experimenting and finding delicious things, and then once you get kind of the basic thing down, then you can dabble and mix and match and do all these things. It's just so fun. But you can find a ton of recipes in all my cookbooks on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. Let's see, start featuring. I don't know what this button does. Ooh! Okay, so on Facebook, I did like a Facebook shop. I don't know what I'm doing. This is new. So I think a volume just popped up. Oh, I can see it on my computer because I put my computer over there. Are they in your books? The Pumpkin Muffies are not in my book, but volume 2, which I just posted, has some delicious pumpkin spice. There's the pumpkin patch recipe. I think that's in volume 2. There's some other delicious pumpkin recipes in volume 2, and one of my favorites, the yogurt cheesecake recipe, is in volume 2. That is a favorite. Otherwise, I have the holiday volume. This would have a bunch of pumpkin recipes. This has the chickpea recipe as baking it, not in the air fryer. But this has all the holiday inspired recipes, so like carrot cake, we got orange spice, we got baked apples, soups, pumpkin waffles, all the things that just make you feel cozy and like a holiday in your mouth is in the holiday volume. It's volumes 1 through 8, all the holiday inspired recipes in one book, the holiday volume. You can find this on my website, and you can find like a recipe index and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I have Cooking with Joy, and that's volumes 1 through 5 in one book. Then there's Cooking with Joy 2, which is volumes 6 through 10 in one big book. I actually have them because I cook out of my own books too. This is Cooking with Joy 1. This is volumes 1 through 5 in one. And then we have Cooking with Joy 2, which is volume 6 through 10 in one. Then we have the brand new volume 11. These recipes are not in any other cookbook, just this one. And these are yummy. There's yummy salads in here, lunches, chaffles, donuts, egg waffles, sandwiches, the pizza, pizza salad, mango bake. Some of my favorites are in this volume. I think there's even a cheesecake in here also. I'm pretty sure there's falafel, sunshine soup, rhubarb things, so many yummy things in volume 11. You can find all of these, food galleries, recipe index, and more on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. Okay, that was the commercial part of this recipe show. Back to cooking. Pumpkin is vegetable, right? It is, but for breakfast, you can swap, and even lunch, you can swap a vegetable serving for a fruit serving. So let's say for breakfast, if you want to have like savory muffins or like a quiche or something, instead of 6 ounces fruit, you could have 6 ounces vegetable. Now you can't do it the other way. So like for lunch, you can't just have 12 ounces of fruit, even though that would be really fun. So you can swap it that way. So that's why like in the recipes for breakfast, I'll say that pumpkin is half of your fruit serving. It just means that it counts as your fruit, even though it is a vegetable. How many books do you have? That is a great question. I have 11 single volumes, but all of them together, I have Simply Delicious, which is a 14-day meal plan, the holiday volume, 2 whole food plant-based vegan volumes. So if you're whole food plant-based vegan, those are made just for you. And then I have the 2 Cooking with Joys. So altogether, there's 17 different cookbooks that you can mix and match. And our chickpeas are done. Let's check them, see if they give us a nice little clink clink, because then we know they're crispy. I'm hungry! Oh no! I need more dinner recipes. Well, I got you, girl, because in each volume, there's 4 different sections. There's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then sausage seasonings inside. So each cookbook is going to have a nice section of dinner recipes. And some of the lunch recipes in the earlier volumes, you could make that as a dinner recipe by just adding more vegetables or skipping the fruit. So that's kind of fun too. Good luck. Aw, thank you. All right, let's check our chickpeas. Oh yeah, listen to that. You know they're done. Listen to the clink. You could cook these a couple minutes longer if you wanted to, but I think I'm gonna put this back in because they're just a little bit not super crispy. So I think I'm gonna put these in for about 2 more minutes. So we did 15 minutes, and now we're gonna do like 2 minutes. We don't wanna burn these. I've burnt them before. And they're easy to burn. So we're just gonna hit air fry, and we're gonna change the time to 2 minutes. Keep turning. All right. And it is gonna preheat. While we're doing that, let me grab a plate. We're gonna need a big plate for our muffins, and then we're gonna frost our muffins. Now, when I say frost, it's not frosting. We're gonna put our peanut butter fluff. So if you're triggered by the word frosting, we're gonna yogurt our muffins. I don't know what else to call it. What is that? That was pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas. Now, if you don't like pumpkin spice, you could use like a savory spice or just make them plain. You could do like some sea salt on it if you want to. Crispier the better. Yes, Cindy, you are totally right. All right, so let's start getting our muffins. Oh, and the pan is nice and cool. Now, they are just a little bit stuck to the side. Maybe if we cook them a little bit longer, it might have separated them, but we will make this work. I'm just going to use the back of this fork, or you could use a knife, and we're just going to lightly separate them from the sides. You could have even lined, oh, they're coming out quite nice. Look at that. Came out beautifully. And again, we get to eat all of this for one breakfast. Haha, isn't that the best? Add food. Already did that. It tells you when it's done preheating, so it's kind of nice. The air fryer I had before, I got at a garage sale, and I just knew it wasn't as powerful as other people's, because I would see recipes of people making air fried stuff, and I'm like, mine takes twice as long to make all that stuff. So when I saw this one on sale, I'm like, let's just get a new one. The other one did work, but just not as long. or just not as powerful. So just keep doing our muffins. It is delish. Thank you. At first I thought they wrote it is diabetic. I'm like, that makes no sense, but delish makes more sense. Okay, funny. I bet your kitchen smells amazing. It does. I'm sitting here and somebody said on Instagram that I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, thankfully I eat lunch right before this, which really helps because then I'm not like, oh, let's eat this. That's why I have this at 2:30 because that's after lunchtime. Oh, this would be hard to do before lunch if you're hungry and you're just baking. Ooh, no, thank you. That's another tip for if you don't want to like eat your food before it's done. Don't make it when you're hungry. Kind of like they say, don't go shopping if you're hungry because you'll buy the whole store. Don't cook when you're hungry because it'll make you a little hangry and you might just be like, oh, I'm just going to take a bite of this. That's not good. Sometimes I like to bake at night, or if like I'm cooking dinner, as I'm cooking dinner, sometimes I'll make my breakfast that time. And then if there is any little pumpkin left in the pan, you could just kind of scrape it out or sprinkle it on top of the yogurt because there was just a little bit of sticking. Not too bad though. Like I said, the quinoa helps it not be so sticky. Okay. That looks better. All right, we'll take that out in a minute. We're going to finish our pumpkin muffies, our pumpkin pie muffies. And this should pop right out. Come on, little mustache. Yeah, they're popping right out. I don't know. There's something about getting a cute little pan or making them as donuts. The different shapes. It just, does it make them taste different or is it just the cuteness factor? I heard that we eat with our eyes first. So if you make your food pretty, even ugly food tastes good. But I like to make my food kind of pretty and then take pictures and then post it. You know, it's fun. All right, these popped right out. Let's see. How are you, my friend? I'm doing good. How are you? Do you like eat that? Yes, it is food. You need prepared just for coffee. Yes. Coffee with this in the morning. My favorite. I get my breakfast. I get my coffee. Then I go sit in my bed with my Bible and just have that time where I just eat. And it's just beautiful. My little time in the morning where I'm nice and cozy. That's my favorite time of day. Never bake hungry. Absolutely. Jenny, all of those muffins are one serving? Yes. You get to eat all of this. And we're not done. We're going to frost our muffins. All right. I got to show you the little mustache. Let me find it really cute. This one's so cute. Look at the little mustache. You get to eat that. Isn't that cute? I found this pan at a thrift store. Ooh, a hair. Delish. So now I'm just going to lay out all of my muffins in one thing here. And my little mustaches. And then we'll just kind of frost these. So I like when I start frosting, I like to start with the fork and then I'll get a spatula to get all of it because there should be no yogurt left behind. Now frosting this is not the most pretty. You could like mix this in a little baggie and then pipe it on if you want it super cute. But I'm like, I'm just going to eat these for breakfast anyways. So cuteness to this level, or there might be a cool trick to frosting things super cute. I don't know that yet. But a baggie does work, and then you kind of pipe it on. All right, we're going to go to the spatula because it's to the bottom. I like these little teeny spatulas. I find them at the dollar store, or they have them at like Walmart or Amazon, those types of things. But I like the little spatulas. It's a little bit easier to maneuver than using a big one. Which time you eat breakfast? That's a great question. If I'm going somewhere early, then I'll usually have breakfast when I first wake up. I'll just kind of get up, go and make my breakfast. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but it's usually around like, let's see, it's usually around like 9:30, depending on if I'm making my breakfast or if it's in the fridge and I just put it together. And then I have that time. And then I usually eat lunch a little bit later. Lunch is usually around like 1:30. I try to make lunch at 1, otherwise I get a little hangry, and then I'm like, I don't even care, I'm just going to eat this, which is not a good thing to do, because then you're just you're too hungry to think and rationalize. And yes, I'm frosting this with my finger. So I like to make lunch before I get to that hangry stage, because that could be dangerous too. So then lunch is usually around like 1:30, and then dinner is usually around, now when we have Bible study and stuff, it's later, but dinner is usually around like 6:30, but if it's Bible study, it's usually around like 8. So that's why I eat my lunch a little later. And I'm not really a super early morning person, which is fine. So everybody does it different. But try to eat 4 to 6 hours apart. That's kind of a goal. I mean, sometimes I'll tell myself, what's an hour difference if the situation calls for it? Like, oh, we have to go, or oh, we're busy at this time, or we're traveling, that kind of thing. I gotta wipe my fingers off. But you do the best you can, and then it kind of makes up in between. I didn't wipe my fingers. Good enough. Got peanut butter fluff all over them. Which, hey, that's not too bad, but I'm not going to lick my fingers because I already ate lunch. So here, it's not the prettiest, but you get to eat this whole plate of muffins and mustaches. So yum. You are amazing. Oh my goodness, you are so sweet. Are these recipes in volume 2 or the holiday volume? The pumpkin pie spice, what are they? Roasted chickpeas, that is in the holiday volume. I'm not sure what other volume, because it is in volumes 1 through 8. Somewhere in there, there's the pumpkin spice roasted chickpeas. I'm not exactly sure what volume yet. I'll have to look that up. But it is in Cooking with Joy 1 or 2. I'm not sure about that one either, but it's in the holiday volume. This recipe is brand new. This is not in a cookbook yet. I just had to let you in on this because it was so yum. Hello on TikTok. So fun. How cute are those muffins, right? Aren't they so cute? And we get to eat so many of them. Are you staying? Are you standing? Yes, I'm standing. So you get to eat all of these. Now I'm going to show you our roasted chickpeas. I don't want to burn myself because the pan is quite hot. Random, I also found these oven mitt gloves, which I really like for my toaster oven so you don't burn the top of your hand, and I like it for this. I found them at Aldi's. Aldi's has, I call it the fun aisle, where they have just random baking things. They have random baking gadgets, and it's random what they have there. So you have to kind of look every time to be like, what is there? So listen to that. You know they're done then. Yep, you can feel them, and they're nice and crunchy, crispy. They should kind of break apart, and then you know that they're done. So here they are. They should be nice and golden. If you're making these in the oven, just kind of stir them every 10 minutes and check on them. Make sure you don't burn them. How cute are, oh, I already read that. Something in Spanish, hello. So, roasted chickpeas count differently. You count them differently than just canned chickpeas. Canned chickpeas or beans, that kind of thing is 6 ounces of full protein, but roasted chickpeas is 2 ounces of full protein. And I've tested this out. I air fried some chickpeas and I weighed them before. I did 6 ounces weighed, and then when they were done, they did come out to 2 ounces. So it's just the weight of them has shrunk. So you would get 2 ounces as your full protein. And these are so fun. I like to sprinkle them on top of breakfast parfaits because they're pumpkin pie spice, so that's delicious too. I know I have recipes with this made where you sprinkle them with chickpeas and that types of things. So I don't give you recipes where you're like, now how do I use this sauce or seasoning? I give you recipes to use them with also. So this is really fun. Or just have these if you're having like an alfresco lunch or like a picnic lunch. This would make a great protein for a grab and go because you get 2 ounces. They're easy. Just throw in a baggie. You're good. I don't think you have to refrigerate these. If you're going to like save them for later, I would just put them in an airtight container or a baggie and just leave them on your counter till you're going to use them. Don't leave them out for too long. I mean, you can tell because they'll get kind of stale and kind of like chewy. Then it's time to make a new batch if you don't eat them by that. Hola, hello. So those are our our recipes today. We got pumpkin spice and everything nice. And it was so fun cooking with all of you on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. It is always a joy cooking together. I will be back next week on Friday. We'll be making some more deliciously easy recipes. What should we make next? We got our pumpkin spice kick in. Maybe we'll have to do some apple stuff because apple season is upon us. My apple trees are ready to be picked. There's people, it's kind of, when you live in the Midwest and there's apples and rhubarbs and zucchini, there's always people offering you, oh, hey, you want some apples? Oh, hey, you want some rhubarb? Oh, hey, you want some zucchini? Then you know you got some good friends. But it's always fun. So apple season is coming upon us. Maybe we'll have to make some apple pie things or some apple crisp things or something appley and delicious because I like apples too. They're a very good banana substitute if you don't like bananas or if you're allergic to bananas. So that's always fun. Blueberry lemon cheesecake. Okay, we can make blueberry lemon cheesecake. Thank you, my friend. Enjoy your week. Thank you so much, Janice, for joining. And you enjoy your week also. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Tomorrow to eat? Yes, this is breakfast tomorrow. I'm going to have these delicious muffins. I'm just going to stick them in a container and then they'll be so yummy tomorrow too. When yogurt sits in the fridge overnight, it turns into it gets thicker and deliciouser. Deliciouser is now a word. But it gets better when these sit in the fridge overnight. I kind of like my blondies and that kind of things to sit overnight. They taste a little bit better to me. I like the texture better. Peach blueberry crumble. Ooh, we haven't done peach in a long time and I have some peach extract. Oh, now you got my juices flowing, Linda. Okay, it'll be a surprise next week what we're gonna make. It'll be something delicious. Something peachy, I think. And maybe blueberry and maybe apple. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a thing that's all together. That would be delicious. But that peach blueberry crumble is really good. I think we'll have to make that. We'll see. We're going to make something nice. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. You can see. Yes, I can. Thank you. And then we have our pumpkin spice chickpeas. This will probably be lunch. I'll have something with this. Maybe like a chia pudding with this on top. That would be delish. Or even like a fall salad with something delicious on it, or something pumpkin-y for lunch and sprinkle these on top for protein. That would be so good. I do have a pumpkin mousse or a pumpkin cheesecake recipe. It's in the later volumes. I want to say it's like 7, 8, or 9. There are some delicious pumpkin-y things in there with these on top. That would be so good. So I'm going to have to look through there. I think I have a pumpkin chia pudding recipe. I know I have one of those. So that would be really delicious with these on top for more protein. Make sure I didn't burn my counter. But that was the cooking today. It's always so hard to end, but I will be back next Friday, 2:30 p.m. right here. We're going to make some more deliciously easy recipes, and it was so fun cooking with you today. I so enjoy our time together. And remember, if you're going through a hard time, if you're going through some mental stress, distress, if you're just going through some craving, just a really hard time, just remember, always keep this in your mind, that you're only one thought away from a good day. All you have to do is change your thought. And how do you do that? With your words. When you say something, the mental chatter stops. So say what you want your life to be. Say, I am having a good day. This is a good day. Because this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Start right there. Start your day right. You just change your thoughts. You change your feelings, you change your actions, and you change your whole life just by doing one thing. And it's so easy. So remember, you're only one thought away from a good day. Linda, so fun. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. What time to sleep? I don't have a specific time to sleep. I try to get a good amount of sleep, though. You always do beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. You are so sweet. I try to get to bed at a decent hour, but I'm a night owl, so it all depends. But sleep is very important. If you don't get a good amount of sleep, that can actually slow or stall weight loss, which is really random. Our body really likes sleep. Our mental state and our everything really likes good sleep. So try to get some good sleep, like 7 to 8 hours. That's my guess. Thanks so much. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much for joining on all the social medias. It is always such a fun time, and I will see you next week. how delicious it was without a test. Yes, tests. I like to eat food without tests. There's no test today. All right, I will see you next week. I love you, and with joy, Natalie.